Awesome. Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this evening. And there's a lot of people that will be joining us, but we've got started because we'd like to keep on time. Tonight, we're going to be hearing from Gosia. Gosia is a naturopath herbalist from the Sunshine Coast, for those that don't know her. Gosia has been in this industry for over 30 years. She specialises in detox, cancer, blood analysis, and the digestive issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by asking Gosia a couple of questions. Now, if you have questions, please feel free to write them. You'll have a little write area that you can actually send a question and we will have a look at them. And then what we're going to do is do some testimonials, and we're going to hopefully wrap this all up in an hour. So we don't like to have too long ones because I know we understand it's quite late for a few people. So let's get started. So Gosia, welcome, firstly, and thank you so much. You're always amazing, and your insight and your knowledge is phenomenal, and we really appreciate you. So thank you for that. Now, we've been working together for about 6 months, if that, and we have this amazing bond, and I'm very excited about that. And we've had lots of chats, and one of the things that you said to me was that you have never recommended fish oil in your practice before. Okay, so can you tell me why, and then can you tell me why Zinzino?
Yeah, I love talking about it because I feel really passionate about the product, which is such a high quality. And for those who know me or know about me, that I'm always looking for quality. If it's to do with food or supplements or anything, if I'm choosing restaurant or wherever I go, I always look for quality. And so when clients were coming to see me before I found Zinzino balance oil, and they were telling me that they're taking fish oil, I was telling them to put the fish oil in a bin and immediately stop taking it, because I believe that most of the fish oils, I cannot say all of them, but the ones that I ever came across, that they are all rancid, because the fish oils are very easily oxidized. Not just fish oils, all oils are very easily, they get oxidized. And when they rancid, then they are actually toxic. We should definitely not take them. So lots of people are buying oils which are cheap from the pharmacy or health food shop, and they are rancid. So I am totally against those. And when I found Zinzino, what I realized is that because the fish oil is mixed with the olive oil, and the olive oil contains polyphenols, which are very powerful antioxidants, what happens is that those antioxidants are protecting the fish oil from getting rancid. And when I realized that, I was quite excited, because the omega-3 are incredibly beneficial for us. And because we don't produce them, we need to have them in our diet. So when I realized that there is a product which is such high quality product, I was quite excited. You there, Shelley?
Sorry, I muted myself and then I couldn't unmute myself. Sorry, yeah, absolutely. That's sorry, there's a couple of people that aren't unmuted. Can we mute ourselves if possible, please, just so that it doesn't interfere in the background? Thank you so much. You've obviously worked with so many people, and you've seen all different types of health issues. Okay. We have a lot of people, a couple of people that have asked to talk about chronic inflammation in the body or chronic pain. You know, is that from inflammation, and how does the Zinzino balance oil work with that?
Yes, so inflammation is at the root of all health issues. They all start with chronic inflammation. So there is lots of different remedies which help with inflammation and they reduce it. But what happens is that when we're using balance oil, the balance oil gets to the core of the problem. because the inflammation starts in the cell. It starts with the rigid cell membranes. And the reason the cell membranes are rigid is because we have unhealthy diet, and most of that unhealthy diet includes bad oils, omega-6 seed oils. And when we go to restaurants, when we're eating packaged foods, or when we consume anything like biscuits or crackers or even mayonnaise or anything that is from the supermarket, guaranteed that it will have omega-6. And when we consume those products, what happens is that the body is struggling to process those oxidized fats, and then it makes the cell membrane rigid. And what happens is that when cell membrane is rigid, it's not absorbing the nutrients, and it's very difficult for the cell to build energy, and it's very difficult to get rid of the toxins as well. So people may take supplements, or they may even try to eat good food, and try the best to do different, drink healthy water, or try different therapies. But if the cell membranes are rigid, and if they're not working the way they should, then inflammation begins within that cell. And that's what I would like everyone to understand, that we're all trying to reduce inflammation, but it starts within that cell due to cell not functioning properly. And to correct that, we need more omega-3 to get rid of the omega-6. And that oil mixed with the polyphenols is very easily assimilated into our system, and it gets absorbed easily because it's so pure and it's such high quality that it makes the cell membrane soft again, soft and flowy. So then what happens is that immediately inflammation is reduced, and the cells start working properly. They function as they were designed to do. So they allow the nutrients to come in, not just nutrients, but oxygen, water, minerals. They've got often receptors. The cells have receptors, so those receptors send signals. They start working properly the way they should. And also they detoxify themselves properly. And that is huge, because by doing that, we're reducing inflammation. And that's why balance oil is so incredibly effective for pain. And later on, we're going to hear testimonials from few people when they had great success using balance oil for pain.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it's called balance oil, and you're talking about omega-3s and omega-6s. So how do we know whether we're balanced between our omega-3s and 6s, and what does being balanced mean?
So I've got not omega-3, balance test here. And most of you hopefully done this test, or if not, so I encourage people to do this test. I believe is the most important test that we can do, because it's showing us the ratio between the omega-6 and omega-3. And then we know where we at. We know what the ratio is. And I've done so many of those tests now. I don't count them, but definitely close to maybe 200. And every single person had imbalance. So too much of omega-6 and not enough of omega-3. And it also is testing for all the fatty acids. So we've got 11 of those fatty acids, not just omega-3 and 6. There is more. There's omega-9, and we've got arachidonic acid, we've got linoleic acid, and they all equally important. And that's why it's really important to test, because this test will show us what is actually happening in our cell membranes, what is happening in the brain if we're getting enough of omega-3, which is called DHA for the brain. Because if we don't, then we can, I see this all the time, that especially with the kids, that they get anxiety, they've got mood swings, they really stress, they don't sleep properly. ADHD is so common now, like every single person who comes with the kids to see me, every kid has ADHD, and the parents don't know what to do. They try, they go to doctors and they try different tests, and they don't know what to do. They put them on medication. But what really needs to happen is that we need those good fats to correct brain function. And I had excellent results treating children with anxiety or ADHD, autism, brilliant results. And actually those results happened within very short period of time because those kids are so deficient in the good fats that when you flood them with the good fats, suddenly it's like a miracle. Those kids are calm and they operate properly, which is amazing. That such a simple that we've got such a simple solution to such a big problem.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And who can take the oil? Who should take the oil? Is there a specific, who should take the oil? That's my question.
Yeah, I recommend the oil to everyone because you see, when lots of naturopaths or nutritionists or different practitioners, when they prescribe different vitamins or minerals, we really don't know exactly what we're doing, because if we're taking, let's say, prescribing zinc or B complex or any of those very popular different supplements, we don't really know. We're thinking that it's good for us. And I believe that we depleted, so we need those nutrients. So I believe that it's good. But deep down, we don't really know what the levels are and if what's going to happen if we take all these different supplements. However, with the balance oil, when we do the test, and we realize that we have incorrect ratio, that we've got too much of omega-6, then it's necessary to supplement with omega-3 to, as I said before, to rebuild those cell membranes, because we want to reduce the inflammation and correct brain function. It's also, the oil is amazing for our circulation, so for our blood. And so what happens is that when we're taking the oil, there is more oxygen attached to the red blood cells. And I see that in live blood analysis. I had several people coming to see me who didn't do anything else. They haven't made any change in the diet or supplements. They only tried the oil. And we've done the test. And the blood initially was all congested and looking really unhealthy. And after taking the oil, the blood was flowing again. And that just shows that it's an easy way of oxygenating the blood, which is crucial for our health. Most people have congested blood, and that leads to cancer, that leads to inflammation, it leads to anxiety, all the problems, because we are oxygen dependent beings. We must have a lot of oxygen flowing through our system. And if we're lacking that, then the blood gets congested and all the problems start from there. So improving that oxygenation is crucial for our health.
Yeah, I just love listening to you, Gosia. Your knowledge is amazing. It's just so exciting. And I guess I've run out of questions, which is great. However, if anybody has a question, please type a question in and we will answer. Well, Gosia will answer the question. But I guess, anyone can take it then, from child or baby right through to, it's helping everybody. Is that correct?
Yes, so I didn't really answer properly your question. I just went into that big, big conversation about importance of the good fats, but it's excellent. As I said before, for children, it's very easy to take the one which is flavored for the children. They take it without any problems, which normally it's not easy to give them fish oils because they've got strong taste, but Tutti Frutti is really great. So it's great for children. Lots of elderly people are taking medications, and then people are asking me that if they're taking medication, is it okay to take the oil? The only time that it's questionable if to take the oil is when people are taking blood thinners, because the oils are diluting the blood. But they're not diluting the same way as blood thinners. They're not diluting, they're oxygenating the blood, and that's why the blood flows better. So where the blood thinners are quite harmful, taking long term. So the only time that I wouldn't recommend the oils is when people are gonna have surgery, or when they're recovering from serious diseases, because then we want that blood actually to be not to be too diluted. So I would then maybe for that period of time not give them the oils, but afterwards definitely continue taking it. And it's also, I actually don't mention this often, but it's amazing for pregnant ladies and for also women who are trying to conceive, because when they're trying to conceive, the good fats are essential for health, and the more omega-3 they have, the better the brain and the nervous system is developed. So it's definitely the most important nutrients, I would say, for pregnancy would be the omega-3 oils.
If somebody's going in for a procedure and not necessarily surgery, do they still have to stop taking the oil, or is it just...
Well, the doctors are recommending to stop everything, to stop all supplements. And I would actually, just to be on the safe side, I would also not to take the oils, because they do make the blood flow better, and they do dilute the blood. So maybe for a week before the surgery, I would stop taking the oil, and then wait a little bit after the surgery, and then start again, because the recovery and healing is definitely gonna be improved, but not just close to the procedure.
Yeah. And do everybody take the same dosage?
No, the dosage is dependent. It's actually written on the label. The dosage is per kilo, so it's all written there on the label. But what I have been doing, that I recommend 10 mils almost to everyone. And sometimes, I get people who are much bigger, and they take 10 mils, and it still does the job. It still works for them. So that means that then the bottle lasts them a month, because it's 300 ml bottle. And it's a bit easier, because then they know that they've got 10 mils, and they take it for a month, and then we're seeing the difference within the month, and it works. When someone has more severe problem, or very severe inflammation, then we may, someone may take 15 or 20, but 10 mils works almost for everyone. That's my experience.
Excellent. Yeah, excellent. I think that Denise has got a couple of questions here. Just going back.
But maybe if we could read some questions.
Yeah. So I'm seeing a lot of people attending for iron infusions. Can you comment on the benefits of the oils for these people, please?
Yeah, it's very common. And so what happens is, before I touched on the health of individual cells, that if we balance that ratio between omega-6 and omega-3, the cells are working better. So if someone has anemia and needs iron infusion, then the ion is going to be absorbed better because the cells are going to be working better. So if it's ion, or if it's other infusions, or if it's any therapies of any sort or other supplements, what happens is that all of those nutrients are going to be absorbed better. And basically the system operates much better when the cell walls are in a flow, and when they soft and they absorb nutrients.
Yeah, awesome. I've got a question here. I don't quite understand it, so I'll give it to you. How does the oil thin the blood, and does it thin the blood more than water?
I don't think that the water thins the blood at all. I think that what happens is with the oil, that because the oil is improving the cell membranes, they basically are able to absorb more oxygen. So they are performing much better, the individual cells. And we are made up of trillions of cells. So if the cells we are made of, if they don't work properly, then like the therapies or supplements are not going to be very effective. So the way the oil works, I wouldn't say the word dilute, it's just oxygenates the blood more efficiently than anything else. So that's why the blood flows better, and there is less blood clots, and it just is distributed through the whole body. But diluting, I don't like this word diluting, because diluting seems like it's doing something which is not supposed to be doing. It's just the blood is flowing as it should be flowing. It's just more oxygenated.
Yeah. I've got a quick question that I want to add before these questions, and that was you did a chat, or you did a call, a recording in our page, Let's Get Balance, which is an amazing page. And if you guys aren't on there, I suggest you go on there, because Gosia put some great talks on there. And it was about cancer and using the oil. Can you just give me a real brief of, for anybody out there suffering with cancer, of how, the oil can support them?
Yeah, absolutely. For all my cancer patients, the balance oil and the balance test is the most important number one remedy that I recommend. Because as I keep explaining, the oil is repairing the cells. So what we want is that we want to improve absorption and also detoxification. And so a lot of cancer patients are using a lot of different therapies and taking a lot of different supplements. And when the cells are not working properly, meaning that they're not getting the nutrients from the foods or supplements, then they cannot regenerate themselves. They cannot work properly. So cancer happens because the cells mutate. They grow in an uneven way. So what they out of order, they are cells which are not growing properly. So when we're treating cancer, what we want to do, we want to oxygenate the cells, we want to nourish the cells, and we also want to improve detoxification. We want the cells to be able to clean themselves, because a lot of people are using lots of different treatments like antiparasitic medication like ivermectin or fenbin or lots of detox, different therapies. But if those cells cannot detoxify themselves, if they cannot release the toxins properly and also absorb the nutrients, then it's not going to work very well. So for that reason, I put everyone on the balance oil, and to improve the structure of the cell, and then they are able to absorb the nutrients. So it's and also oxygen is so important. For cancer, we have to oxygenate the body, because the cancer cannot survive in a well oxygenated environment. So we oxygenating, as I said before, the blood, we oxygenating the cells, and so then the cancer cannot survive. And the cells become stronger and more efficient. And that's why it's such a great, very simple strategy. It also, one thing that I didn't mention is that balance oil is regulating blood sugar, and it lowers insulin levels. And when someone has persistent high insulin, that also drives cancer. So, we want to lower the insulin. We need it, but we cannot have it high. So we want to balance blood sugar, balance the insulin, and that's actually, those things are absolutely crucial. And that all helps with detoxification. So really important supplement for cancer.
Awesome. That's just amazing. Just amazing. Now we do have a few different oils. Okay. Would you like to, the question was, the premium oil to the Aqua X to the, for the vegan to the balance oil, is there much difference in their efficiency?
Yeah, so they're different. So basically, Aqua is the oil which is easier to digest. So if someone is having issues digesting the fats, that oil is specially made to help you to digest. So if someone doesn't have a gallbladder or in general feels unwell after taking the balance oil, then they can take the Aqua, but it's the same oil. So it's easier to digest. That's all it is. And then we've got vegan oil, which I haven't used much. I only had 2 people for the vegan oil. And they just said that it was easy to take and they had good results. But I don't have much experience with the vegan oil, so I cannot really comment on that one. The Tutti Frutti, I know it's just the flavor, but I think it's excellent that we've got option for the kids, because normally kids are super fussy and it's very difficult to give them the oils. But this one is super easy. They actually, some of the kids' parents were telling me that they were asking for the oil. They really like it. The premium oil is a stronger oil. It's more potent, and there is more polyphenols in the premium oil. It comes with the black label, and it's a bit more expensive. I actually really like, I've got them here, I really like the capsules, and that's what I take. And it's just convenient. When I was traveling, I took capsules with me, and they are also 4 times more potent. So the amount of omega-3 is the same, but there is 4 times more polyphenols, and they're very good quality. Even the capsule itself is made of fish gelatin, and it's a really brilliant product. That's why I love taking it.
Yeah, fantastic. And that's the premium oil's the same as what's in the black bottle? Yeah.
The capsules are stronger than the premium oil. They are the strongest. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Is the oil good for Alzheimer's and other brain issues, etc., brain fog? I can vouch for the brain fog. It definitely works for that, but go ahead and ask the
Yeah, absolutely. Because obviously what we're doing when we're taking the oil, we're increasing the level of omega-3. And there are different types of omega-3, DHA, EPA, and others, but those 2 are the most important ones. And DHA is absolutely crucial for the brain. And if we're lacking in DHA, then we definitely will have foggy brain, anxiety. And if that deficiency is present for a long time, then we develop conditions like dementia or Alzheimer's or other issues. And I had the most brilliant results with actually dementia in a short period of time with my client who in the past it was difficult to communicate with her. A few times she couldn't find my place to get here, and she's been on the oil for 3 months, and just different person, completely different conversation, really improved cognitive function. It's just amazing. And as I mentioned with the children, they also suffer. They don't have dementia as such, but they lacking the DHA, and that's why lots of kids are anxious and they have learning problems, and they just not doing very well at school because they can't focus and concentrate, and it's all to do with the deficiency in the brain. And I hate that those children are put on medication, because the medication is not solving the problem and it's actually making it worse. So I like to fix the problem rather than just put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah. And I think that, with the brain health, or with the fogginess, I mean, I have dyslexia, and it's almost rewired my brain to think forward instead of going backwards. And I know that that sounds like a really strange thing, but if you have dyslexia, you would understand, so it's just changed, like, numbers, I don't get mixed up, letters, I don't get mixed up, and I actually retain so much more now than I've ever retained. And I've been now taking Synceno Balance Oil for about 18 months. So it's definitely made a huge difference, just remembering numbers. People give me numbers and I would just get them mixed up. I just couldn't. They'd have to give me 2 in a go. Now they can give me a whole pile of numbers and I can retain them. So that's just phenomenal as far as I'm concerned. We've got a couple of testimonials here where we weren't sort of up to that, but Mel was saying that it's really improved with her sleep, which is isn't that one of the biggest testimonials that we have? It improves with sleep.
Yes, I actually forgot to mention that, but because it calms down the nervous system, and the brain operates better. As we know, the brain cleanses itself at nighttime, and we're improving that by taking the good fats. Then the nervous system is calmer, and for the body to heal, we need to calm down the nerves. So that's why for so many people who come to see me, they've been to so many different doctors, they've spent so much money, they had all the tests done, and they still not improving. And that's because one of the issues is that they stressed and they constantly in the sympathetic mode, which is, as if the big bear was chasing them. So the body is not gonna heal if someone is stressed. So with the oil, we're calming down the nervous system, and then the body knows what to do. It just heals itself, which means that we can sleep better as well.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things in the test that I particularly love is the mental strength. Could you tell us what that sort of, do you know what that actually measures? Because I see that, I have this little girl that had really bad ADHD, and her mental strength was 5.0 to 1 when it should have been 0.5 to 1. Maybe you could just talk a little bit about that.
So what I just said earlier about the importance of DHA for the brain is exactly what the test is indicating. So one of the sections in the balance test is mental strain, and that is telling us how much the brain is getting, how much of the good fats the brain is getting. And with all the tests that I've done so far, everyone is deficient. Even if the ratio is not so high, then we're looking at the individual like individual ratio of the omega-3, and almost every person has deficiency in DHA, especially DHA, which is for the brain. So that's what that mental strain is indicating. And I've got Adrian here. When we get to testimonials, I would absolutely love Adrian to tell us the story. I've asked Adrian to come to this call because he was the first person that I contacted when I realized what I've got in my hands. So I even had goosebumps thinking about it, because I've known Adrian for a while. He will tell you his story in a minute. But when I got something before the oil, when I got something interesting, I found something, I would say, hey, Adrian, I've got this, I've got that, you have to try. And then he would try. And then when I found out about the oil and I realized that this product is so amazing, it's so good for inflammation, he was the first person. I said, hey, I found something and I really want you to try. And the same day he came and picked up the oil, and I would love you to hear his story. Can we, Shelley, please start with Adrian?
Absolutely. Take it away, Adrian.
Hello, everyone. So in August 2022, I had a catastrophic accident where I snapped both my legs, both tibia and fibia, and I completely shattered my right ankle. So my right ankle was completely gone. Originally, surgeons were going to do a double amputation. It didn't end up going that way, where they ended up saving my right leg, and they found a dead man's hip bone and blocked it in as an ankle. I've been on work cover now for nearly 4 years, coming up this year. I've had 13 operations. I've been through hell, to be fair. Lots of chemicals and anesthetic and tablets that I've been on. And I discovered Gosia probably a couple of years ago now. And she's been absolutely godsend to me, completely fixed me up and turned my life around, basically. She put me in an oil probably about 5, 6 months ago now. And within 3 days of being in the oil, so I ended up basically with after 13 operations, I ended up with a double ankle fusion. And that's what I've got now for the rest of my life. And I was shuffling. I was very, very barely walking. And within 3, 4 days on the oil, I was like a new man. I was able to like walk on the beach. Recently, I've just climbed a mountain, which I thought was good, but absolutely impossible. So I feel like as Gosh has explained, it's just got into my joints at a cellular level and repaired things very, very drastically for me. I did end up doing the test with Gosia, which mine ended up with a ratio of 17-1, which is quite high. I've yet to do a retest, but I am going to definitely do a retest in another couple of months or so. But the oil has definitely been absolutely life-changing for me. My gait is walking so much wider, less pain. I was in a lot of perineal nerve pain. It's all disappeared. My arthritis is gone. And it's just been life-changing. And I've also given it to my boy Xander, who's nearly 4 years old. And some of the words that he's saying that I can't even pronounce them sometimes. So, that DHA for the brain, fatty brain development, it's just proof in the pudding that it actually works. And I'm here as a testimony for Gosia, and I won't stop taking it. The product is that good.
Brilliant. And you were also telling me that your mental health improved as well. I guess when you improve, like the pain goes away. I mean, that's given. But
Yeah.
you mentioned to me that also your mental health improved as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, my mental health wasn't the best. Obviously what I'd been through, you kind of spiral downwards and you're in a dark place. But obviously surrounding yourself with good people. And since on the oil, just the clarity and just, I suppose, better focus that I have. I'm more aware of a lot of things. I just feel like my body, it's not going to be like it was when I was younger, but it is, to me, improved like 99.9%. And as I said, my boy, he absolutely loves it. He craves for it every morning. So it's a brilliant, brilliant product.
I love it. Thank you, Adrian.
That's amazing, Adrian. Well done. That is just fantastic. And, how fortunate are we to have Gosia pick up this product and run with it. It's just phenomenal, because she's just helping so many people with it. It's not funny.
Yeah.
We really appreciate coming on tonight. Thank you so much. That was valuable information.
Oh, I just absolutely love it. And I think that you were asking me all those questions, who should take it and who should not, and everyone should be on it. And people sometimes underestimate the simple products, what they can do. Because Adrian is the best example. His situation was really severe. Like, I think one of more severe cases that I had. And he had such a turnaround. And that just shows that even in such difficult cases, that simple oil really helped. So, yeah, I have a lot of people who constantly send me messages, and they say, I can sleep at night now. I don't have arthritis anymore. My child is not, moody so much. Even my niece in Poland, she's got 3.5-year-old boy. And since he was born, she has been sending me photos and videos of him, and he wasn't speaking. And I was watching the videos and I was thinking, oh, he's 3 and he's still not speaking. And like, they don't do anything about it. I was thinking, what's going on? So what I did, I actually sent the tests and I sent the oils to them, to Poland. And when I was on holidays, I got a message from my niece, and she said he started speaking and straight away sentences. And before he was just saying individual words, and now he just speaks full sentences, and he actually pronounces really well. And she said his behavior changed so much. He used to cry to me how difficult he was, that he was screaming and throwing things, and he couldn't play with the kids. He went to kindy, he punched someone, like he was very difficult. And she says he's just a different child. So, like simple oil, and it's and the results are so incredible.
That was my dog coming in the door. Yeah, I can relate, Adrian. Like, I've got an 7-year-old. Actually, she's 6 years old. She's 7 soon. Granddaughter. And when she comes over, the first thing she asks me is for oil. She actually asks me for it. She goes, Gigi, I haven't had my oil yet. And I go, yes, let's get onto it right now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
She has it at Dad's house, but she doesn't have it at Mum's house. But when she comes here, she always asks for it. And I just go, they know what's good for them.
Yeah.
They know. She just loves it. She just thrives on it, which is amazing. Look, we've got loads of testimonials, as you can imagine, and we're going to flick through them quite quickly. I just had a real quick question before we moved on to the testimonials, Gosia, and and it's about women's health, like menopause and perimenopause, and is there a correlation with the oil being able to assist through those times?
Absolutely, it is, because what we want to do, we want to improve overall health. We want to improve that blood flow and oxygenation. And then what that means is that our hormones are much more balanced, and our brain is actually working better. And the first thing that women complain about is not only hot flashes, but foggy brain, and difficulties thinking. So yes, I had a lot of women improving on the oil, and absolutely, hands down, the best thing for that as well.
Awesome. Thank you. And Karen, can I call on you for that testimonial that you have, please? Nice, short, sharp.
Yep. Shall we? Yeah. I've been taking the oil for a while now. I've got lupus, so I had a lot of inflammation issues. It's been a game changer for me. In that I can eat a little bit of gluten, I can eat a few things, whereas before I couldn't. I could just be about a cripple. And energy levels, that's the big thing I found, have just gone through the roof.
And how long have you been taking the oil?
2 years. Has it been 2 years?
No. It's been about 18 months, but that's okay.
18 months has been a while. Shelley. But yeah, it's been an absolute
game changer.
Because I still get tired, but what I'm doing, the amount of work that I'm doing, I'm juggling businesses and all sorts of things, and I'm able to just function at such a higher level.
Awesome. Beautiful. Thanks so much. Gosia, can you give me your favorite testimonial? And I will, if that is this one, I will read it.
Yeah, the one that I send you.
Yeah. Okay, so here I'll read. So
yeah.
do you want to introduce him then, and then I'll read it for you?
Yes. So another client of mine, Rob, who was actually injured after having his COVID vaccine, and he is severely injured. He's struggling, and that's why he's not on a call, because he can function in the morning, but in the afternoon he's resting. And he's been now for many years really struggling. And I prescribed the oil for his son, Ollie, and also he is taking the oil, and his mom, Alison, is also taking the oil. So they all had incredible results. The best results are that he typed for us to read for all of you with his son, Ollie, who also had reaction to his vaccine. And Ollie had neurological tics, and like they didn't know what to do. He was changing his personality. He was aggressive. He wasn't sleeping properly, very frustrated. And then I gave them the oil, and I would like Shelley to read about Ollie, what happened. And actually, they've noticed difference in the first week.
Yeah, so this is feedback from Rob, okay, Ollie's dad. I asked Rob to explain details so that he could, Ollie, 8 years old, suffers from constant neurological tics, such as head going back and forth, enlarged glazy eyes, also suffered from anxiety, trouble breathing, outbursts, etc., undiagnosed asthma and ADHD traits. We have all eaten healthy, but since the lovely Gosia introduced us to Zinzino, we have noticed huge differences in his overall health. His neurological tics and head rocking has improved dramatically. It's improved by at least 80% and less fierce. He was uncontrollably shaking, whipping his head from side to side, 5 to 10 seconds every 30 seconds. It was out of control. Now it's a few times every few minutes and only a short time, and mainly only at night. At night time now, which has been a huge improvement. Both my wife and I would not stop crying at night just seeing our child not being able to control his neurological problem. We would get asked, and he would get asked and teased at school. Now he feels like he can join in and hardly gets asked. He loves his Zinzino Tutti Frutti, and he asks for it every morning and afternoon. The stress and emotional factors that have affected us as parents seeing Ollie struggle has also dramatically decreased, seeing how now he is thriving. Zinzino has changed his life and also us as parents. Thank you, Gosia, for changing our son's life, and seeing him now thrive is incredible. How amazing. I am on a mission to help other kids who may be in similar situations. It's so simple and easy, and kids love the Tutti Frutti flavors. There's more. Just getting great feedback in my first 3 days of being on Zinzino oil. I started seeing a couple of dramatic changes. Firstly, in my ability to bend my fingers. Oh, so this is somebody else. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
that's another client of mine, and she had amazing results with her arthritis and fibromyalgia. Yeah.
Awesome. So she's just going on to say that she had dramatic changes firstly in the ability to bend her fingers. Sometimes she hadn't been able to do for over 6 years. I could almost make a fist again. The pain I was experiencing in my knee was due to recovering from a meniscus tear vanished, and debilitating sciatic pain I'd been experiencing previously for 8 months had vanished. I can't wait to see the results as I'm going to have when I have the right the correct ratio. Might I add, I have been in omega supplements most of my life and I was not balanced. Thanks, Gosia. I am so grateful you introduced me to this incredible product.
That message you sent to me, I think it was just like maybe a week or two after taking it. And now it's months. So it's incredible how quickly those oils sometimes work as well.
Absolutely. You know, I've got so many, I have a lady that I just bumped into me and she said, I seen you selling this oil at the market. Would it be okay for my knees? And I said, you know, it works for everybody differently, but I would suggest give it a couple of months and see how you go. She noticed within the first 4 days. And she didn't stop taking it. She became a customer immediately. And then she's just telling everybody about it. You know, I mean, it's those little irritating things that we have that we don't know that are there, and we don't know how easily they can go by taking, you know, this 10 mil of oil every day. It's insane. You know, I had this little finger that I used to play a lot of netball, and I had this little finger that I couldn't bend. You know, now I can bend it. There's no pain in it at all, you know, and it was just I thought that was something that would just always be there and possibly get worse, but it's gone. You know, it's crazy. And I have a gentleman that wasn't able to get on the call tonight, Dave, and he's just done like a Facebook story telling us his incredible results within only taking the product for a month when he had severe chronic pain in his back. And he was saying that the pain was just so bad, and he didn't, when he started taking the oil within that first month, it disappeared, and he didn't even realize, you know, it just disappeared, and he couldn't believe it. He was thinking he's ADHD, and he was having a lot of clarity, and he's ADHD where he's got boards all over the place for reminders. And now apparently his personal assistant tells me that all his boards are in order. For the first time, she can actually make head or tail of what they're all about. So that's insane to start with, you know.
That's Japanese.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. That's Diana.
What a drag.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry,
Not a problem, Diana.
The door.
Okay. Gosia, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, in closing, I just wanted to say that I get a lot of people who come to see me wanting to test for lots of different things. They want to, every day actually, I get asked to, you know, can they do hair analysis, stool analysis, you know, hormonal testing. Lots of people want to test because people want to find out what's wrong with them, why they still unwell, although they're trying the good food or they're trying certain supplements, why are they still not feeling well? So people want to test. And unfortunately, those tests are very expensive. Like, for example, stool analysis could be $600. And so what happens is that when people test, it will tell them there is a certain imbalance in the gut, or if they test hair, it will tell them that, yes, there is some, you know, maybe heavy metals in the system. And it's good to know those things. I'm not against testing, but I believe that the best test anyone can do is the balance test, because when we find out what is the ratio between the omega-6 and 3, as I've explained at the beginning, then we know how our cells are operating. And if they're not working properly, then to as a first thing to improve our health, we have to work on that. And that is number one priority. So whoever now is asking me for different tests, I always go start with the balance test. And it's not expensive. And you can do it at home. We can send it to Norway. They can test it. And then you will get the results. And what I like about the test as well, that the results come to the client. They don't have to see practitioner again, where with all the other tests, it's sent to practitioners. So there is another fee for another appointment. So I believe that it's cheaper and it empowers people because they've got testing and explanation of the test in their hands. So they can read about it, they can find out what it is. And you know, it's in my opinion, it's the most important test anyone can do. So I just thought that I will finish on that and encourage everyone to do it if they still don't know about it or they haven't done it.
Beautiful. Gosia, thank you so much for your time this evening.
You're very welcome.
Adrian, you know, that's an inspirational story. It was beautiful. Thank you so much for being here tonight and sharing it. We really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody else that came on the call this evening, and to those that I know couldn't actually make the call this evening, but this recording will be made available after this call so that we can actually share it with those that were unfortunately not able to be on the call. Again, thank you so much. Gosh, if you'd like to stop recording, that would be amazing. And again, thank you, Denise, thank you, Melanie, Karen, Michelle, Julia, Jan, everybody that came on. It was really cool. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.